Hello everybody, I'm Red Sea of Red Sea Gaming. I'm here to just talk about this game. It had its last day of life last night. I managed to have a live stream before the service was taken down. Even though it did not shut down during my live stream, at least I'm actually one of the very few who got the live stream it before it was taken offline. As you can see here, I just came into the game just to pay my last respects. Play it as if I could play it again tomorrow. Like, just trying to figure out these puzzles. Alright, I started playing this um, after I discovered it was free to play on PSN. And let's just say this game was hard. Like, if you wanted a gun permit in this game, you had to cough up like 500 Freeman dollars. But that difficulty curve was actually one of the reasons why I continued playing. I actually ended up spending like 10 bucks in the game just to give me a few advantages. But I was a little upset when I found out that they would be shutting down the servers a month from when I spent money on the game. So I felt cheated, and I sort of avoided the game for like 3 weeks until I came back to it yesterday morning. As far as you guys can see, this is just my footage. This is uh, what was originally 2.5 hours worth of footage. I just edited it all together so we can at least see the footage of me just experiencing the game one last time. Like, alright, I'm gonna give you the premise of the game. The premise of the game is a Russian experiment went bad, and you are projection clones created for one sole purpose, for for creating civilization. This game has lots of cool themes, like, as you can see here, I'm just setting down some, constructing something just for fun. Might as well. As you can see there, all those materials have to be brought back to the piles. Yep. Like, why did this game die? Sony could have released a patch to make it offline. Like, come on. An online-only game can only last as long as the company can support it. Which is why a single-player game, I don't need the developer to be alive to enjoy the game. That makes sense? And but sadly, this game needed the support of Sony in order to stay in action. Probably Sony needed to save some pennies by just shutting down the game, despite a lot of people being on the game when it shut down. As far as I can say, the one thing that really hurt this game from the outset was the microtransactions. If they just sold it for a flat fee, like 20 bucks, I would have paid it. Instead, they had to go free to play and all that, which really lowered their overall numbers. And of course, I think that there were a lot of games that were like World of Tanks or Hawken or all these other games were drawing people away from this game, which caused it to be forgotten among a majority of gamers. And I'm just watching myself build, and I'm like, "Ugh, I would like to go back and play that game right now, but I can't." Eh, if anybody has the knowledge of how to do a petition, write up Sony and ask them to restore the Tomorrow Children, or at least make a sequel. At least smaller scale without the microtransactions. Okay, back to the retrospective. This game is basically pick up resources, bring it back to where they belong. Like for example, there's metal, there's wood, there's coal, there's diamond, and other players are with you. This game basically follows the premise of Dark Souls, where the game is basically a one-player game, but there are other players in the game, and you can actually see their shadow as they're exploring the game. Except you can only see other players in the area when they're holding still, or doing gestures, or working, or picking something up, which was pretty genius. Which is why this game is not as um, internet demanding as some other games. And as far as I can see, these players are trying to overload the level with junk in an effort to get the game to crash. Because probably some other players are just as angry as I am. See that? Another player is helping me out. That's good. When I went into the city, there were like 26 people on the server, so it was the largest active server available, so I went here. Some other servers I couldn't go on because they demanded you be at level 30. If you guys watched my live stream last night, you'll see I leveled up to 22, but this is when I was level 21. This was early yesterday morning. So I was just as active as it was when it shut down. That's dedication. Sony should have just said, okay, we'll leave it up until March. But no, they shut it down anyway. Yeah. This is why online only games are a curse. Like, as soon as the company stops supporting a game and takes it offline, you can never play it again. Games like Destiny, which require an always online connection, one day the company's not going to be making enough money to support it, and then they're just going to pull the servers. Even though Activision said, my fingers crossed, that we'd be supporting Destiny for 10 years. But it's only a matter of time before Destiny is shelved as well. Basically, every game that goes online only is on life support as long as the game company is supporting it. And that another game has died due to the company not wanting to support it anymore. It's too bad. But as far as I can see, I found this game pretty addictive. This is basically a scaled up Minecraft, but but not as many options to choose from. But imagine if Minecraft had lots of microtransactions and everybody spoke Russian. It's just rinse, repeat, go back and forth. Right now I was curious, I'm just looking at how many materials we got. Look at that, more materials to grab. I'm gonna say this to Sony, shame on you for turning this game off. But I do understand why Sony did it. Okay, financial implications. The, the cost was far exceeding what Sony was receiving for microtransactions. The cost of the servers to maintain, and also the development crew. Because I heard this game was supposed to be bigger than it actually was. Oh, this is me heading toward one of the islands. Just sadly, my footage along with live streams on Twitch or YouTube will be the only reminder of this game. Alright, I decided to speed up this portion right here because going up the ladder is very slow. I actually liked the creativity of each island. Like, for example, how tall. I was trying to get the 150-meter trophy, but for some reason, how tall was I supposed to go? I don't even know how tall that is. And, like, going up the ladder, then going back down. Like, as far as I can see, this was a hidden gem. This game was. And look at that action pose. She has a shotgun. Don't mess with her. And here's another island. Look at that design. I actually like it. Just... Alright, I might as well use my chainsaw. Yeah. You had to have certain papers in order to use chainsaws, which was also a pain. Since I heard it was going to be taken offline, I did spend the money to get the papers so I could get a chance to play it with the gun and other stuff, because you were defenseless against the monsters because you had to fight with your pickaxe, which was very awkward. Other players are throwing the stuff at me. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I was looking at the trophy list too, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to 100% my trophy list. At least they're working hard. Right now, I'm just trying my best, just help out, even though it's pointless. It's gonna be shut down. There's no stopping it. Oh, I forgot to mention, when you're in the darkness, you can easily die because your protection code clone cannot take darkness. At least I have a flashlight. Now back to daylight. As you can see, lots of materials ready to go back to town. Just like I said, we go to these islands. There's lots of materials here, so we have to go there and grab them. Back to town we go. And this is what happens when we go back to town. Like, it's already starting to fall apart. Like, we have players just sitting around doing nothing, probably pondering about the game ending. I also saw a whole group of players doing gestures together. The one where they look up into the sky. Like 10 at once doing that. But sadly, I didn't. The footage I got of it corrupted, and this is just me. Just just driving and then trying to do stuff I neglected to do when the game was fully active. Like swing, swing, swing. Like, if this game had come out for the PC instead of the PlayStation 4, I think this game would have lasted a lot longer. But just Sony failed to market this game. It's crazy. Why would you put a lot of money into a game only to not market it? But that's just my opinion. Probably you guys can correct me in the comments. I'm always open to correction. Like, eventually there was so much junk in the level that the frame rate was going down like something fierce because there's so much stuff. Look at, here they are, just lying there. These guys just lying there, doing nothing. Like, probably just pondering. Like, we spent a lot of money on this game. And look, I might be shooting a lot of Irvings, or whatever they're called. Oh, look at that. Just for fun. Rocket launcher. Like, it's pretty sad. You see these players just messing around because they're like, what's the point? We won't be able to enjoy this game tomorrow. And look, that's kind of sad. We got players. This is a sense of community. This game is a community when you have players that are willing to dance side by side. Okay, this is enough of my gripes, but rest in peace, tomorrow, children. This was indeed a fun game. You guys have a good day.
Ah, see?